Pick Up the Six is sponsored by Mud Gear. Mud Gear serves the unleashed with gear for the modern hybrid athlete that's made tougher. They've created strong, functional performance gear like their performance shirts, shorts, and socks. I wear Mud Gear on the regular. Whether it's for a road race, an obstacle adventure, or a ruck, Mud Gear can help you gear up for extreme performance. Go to mudgear.com, use the code PUT6, and save 15% off today.
Welcome to F3, Fitness, Fellowship, and Faith, where men come together for something more than just a workout. Our core principles define us: free of charge, open to all men, held outdoors, peer-led, and end in a circle of trust. Whether you want to run, lift heavy things, or focus on bodyweight exercises, F3 has over 4,000 workouts available worldwide. Join us, experience the camaraderie, the challenge, and the transformation of F3, where men can get right so that they can lead right.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pick Up the Six. Brian Jodas here checking in with you and grateful that you are carving out some of your time today to join us for episode 184. Two amazing humans getting ready to join the program here. Mike and Stacy Sweeney, connected to us by none other than, you guys are like, Brian, this guy is 1A or 1B of Pick Up the Six recruiters. And it comes as no surprise. He was an Army chaplain, so he knows how to do some recruiting, some emotional headlocking to get people on the show. But Brad Borders, we affectionately know him as F3 Chap, all my F3 bros. But Brad Borders, great friend of the show, Purple Heart Homes. And boy, when you talk about one of the best dudes that I know, he's up there, man. And he has always just been so good to us and brought a lot of guests our way. And in fact, he called me probably about 2 weeks ago at this point, and he had just got done with a session to help him through a lot of the things that he sort of picked up in the military. And these two folks are a big part of what he's using to help accelerate himself forward. So we'll get to meet Mike and Stacy, a power couple, in a matter of moments. But before we do that, let's thank the fine folks who helped make this show possible as we sit here for episode 183. And with us since the beginning, the great team at Mud Gear. They make performance gear for the outdoor athlete. It is built tougher like you guys. And Mud Gear's got everything you need under one roof, especially if you're going to be working out without a roof, right? Their whole point is get outside, get dirty, connect back to nature, get that exercise in. Go to mudgear.com. They got you outfitted from head to toe. Performance gear, durable gear, great shirts, great shorts, the best socks in the business. And that brand new hybrid trail rucking shoe, the Speed Ruck. Go to mudgear.com, use the code PUT6, save some cash off of your next purchase. Thank you to Alex and the team at Mud Gear. Love you guys and grateful for your support since day one. And thanks to the team at Momentous, everything you need to perform at your best. They've got all that. Vitamins, supplements, all of it. LiveMomentous.com, code Brian J. If you're working out and you need whey protein in that recovery, creatine before, all those good things, they've got you covered there. LiveMomentous.com. Code is Brian J to get you covered there. So thanks to those fine folks. And by supporting those businesses, you support us. You help us share the great stories that we're sharing here on Pick Up the Six. And I've got two great folks who know a thing or two about Picking Up the Six, Mike and Stacy Sweeney. Power couple. Same last name. Here they are, husband-wife duo. What's up, you guys?
Hey, Brian. How are you?
Here we are on a Wednesday afternoon as we record, so we'll get the show up and out pretty quick this week. And again, Brad brought us together, got us on a joint text. We aligned schedules, and here we are. And while they'll work in the same clinic, they are in separate locations today, so it's not a true side by side, but we make it work. So, Mike, good to see you. How are you, my friend?
Good, thank you.
Absolutely, Stacy. How are you? How are things in the clinic today?
Things are going great. Thanks.
Yeah. That's great. These are North Carolina residents, maybe not natives. I don't know full birth stories, but North Carolina residents where I sit in Apex. They're not but a couple hours away from me, Mooresville, Lake Norman, kind of Charlotte-ish area. And our friend Brad Borders got connected to you through a new program called OPTI VETS. Your clinic is OPTI Health, and you guys do a lot of sort of holistic, right? That word, kind of holistic approach to therapies and to care, which is really incredible. We're going to dig into all those details. Let's set the stage a little bit, though. Mike Sweeney, U.S. Naval Academy, class of 94, 5 years in the Navy, triplets on the way. And mama says, what are we going to do? What are we going to do next? So just Mike, just share me just a little bit, right, of that story, right? Getting to Annapolis and how you guys got to meet and all that.
Well, we've known each other since 5th grade, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
Stacy's.
My parents
Stacy's
have you beat. My parents met in the 3rd grade. They didn't start dating till they were 15, but they were in the same 3rd grade class together. It's pretty good.
Well, our lockers were only, I think, 2 or 3 away for most of junior high and high school. And so we were always pretty fond of one another, but started dating when we were in college, and it's been great ever since, for me anyway.
Yeah. Does all that check out? Was it?
It all checks out. We're about to have our 30th anniversary next week. So pretty fun.
All right. What's the secret? Yeah. I mean, 30 years, and you guys have a heck of a story. I mean, a real incredible story of, right, 3 kids in a set in this set of triplets, and then you go on to adopt another 6. I mean, so you're a crew of 11, which is just outstanding. What a life journey. Do you mind? Tell me a little bit. I want to get to know you guys. And adopting 6 kids, not much more picking up the 6, quite literally. Holy cow, that's cool. Than that, what a journey, and trips to Ethiopia, and wow, how's all that happen, Stacy?
I don't think we expected to be an adoptive family, but when our triplets were about 7, we had some kids from our church that needed a home. Their parents were going through a really rough divorce. And so our pastor asked if they could come live with us. We brought them in. DFS said, you're not certified as foster parents. And so we got certified very quickly. Their grandma came to get them, and we brought our baby girl home about 4 days later as our first foster baby.
Wow. What a journey. I mean, that's one of those things, right? Never envisioned that. His plan for us, we're not always privy to that, strategic plan that the Creator has outlined for us. And sometimes we'd love to, boy, could I get like a little sneak peek ahead, Mike, right? But that's just not the way this works, huh?
I would like to have a little peep ahead. Yeah, ahead. That's right.
The peek ahead sometimes just lies in here, right? And just open your arms to opportunity, Stacy. And that was one that I guess at the time you're like, you know what? We are going to do this. What were those family meetings like? What were those briefings like, to use some naval terms, right, as you're going through that process?
Well, I would say the triplets were so excited for our first adoption, so much so that when I was homeschooling them, they're the ones that kind of brought up the idea to adopt again. So when she was 4, we adopted our son Gavin from Ethiopia when he was 5. And when we were in country, we met our other 4 kids, and one of our daughters found them on a waiting child list and posted their picture all over our house with the words pray. Wow. And then it was our kids that sat us down and said, we have room for them. It wasn't anything that we sought after. We knew it'd be hard. I don't think we knew it'd be as hard as it was. But they're all adults and they're doing well. So
that's out. What's the age range at this point, right? 2024 here. What are the ages of all 9 of these? 9 kids, I would say, right?
Kids 19 to 26. They're stair-stepped.
All of your kids are ages 19 to 26.
Yeah.
So that's pretty incredible, though. I mean, that's a pretty close range, right? How close are the 9 of them in just proximity, and then also just, Mike, just closeness, right? I mean, I got it. I'm getting the sense a pretty tight-knit crew.
Sure. Yeah. The triplets and our oldest 2 adopted are all within 2 years of each other. And then our youngest is 19. She just left the house for the first time a couple of months ago to go to a job down south of Charlotte, and she's living down there on a horse farm. So and working hard every day.
Yeah.
But it's good. We have kids all the way from New Mexico to Texas to Boone to here in Charlotte. And
Boone's a good place to be. Boone's a good place to be. What was the mode of transport in the heyday?
It's been good.
Right? Like, Stacy, I got to think you're in some sort of massive van, doors open, people just pile out.
Yeah, and our kids were mortified by it. So when we moved back to Wyoming, the very first Sunday in our home church there, our pastor said, we are looking for someone to donate a van to our Celebrate Recovery program. And all of our kids turned around and looked at us and said, donate the van. Wow. So we had the van for about 2 years, I think.
I've got great family friends. They have 12. And his joke was always go, God said, go forth and multiply. We took that literally. You got there in a different sort of avenue, but incredible. And just, wow. I mean, just amazing. I did not know that detail about you two until Mike and I started talking just moments before the show. Mm-hmm. And so the creator once again connects us through a reason in which, we can have a really cool conversation about OPTI VETS and this brand new 9-week program that you guys have that is going to help save veterans' lives. I mean, literally save veterans' lives. Absolutely. But then we get to also unpack and get to know you and just hear about sort of the Christ-centered devotion of your life, which is utterly amazing. So not by accident that we get to have that cool conversation on the front end here. So thanks for sharing a little bit about that. What's the journey into this wellness space, right? So you're a Navy guy, Mike, for 5 years, right? When does that journey take place? When do you two go into business together? I mean, we're talking a ways back here a little bit. So tell me, Mike, just a little bit of some of that sort of Genesis story.
Well, after the Navy, I got it. We went back to Wyoming. We're originally from Wyoming. Got into banking, got into jet fuel, and then if you're in Wyoming for very long, you get into oil or gas or some sort of minerals extraction business. And so I got into oil and gas, which took us to North Dakota, and had an oil business there that we sold, and kind of retired for 7-8 years. And then and this whole time, obviously Stacy was homeschooling our kids, and we're building a business, and then had an opportunity to work for Samaritan's Purse up in Boone. So we moved from Wyoming to North Carolina, and really enjoyed working with them, and traveled all over the world, getting to serve people. And then we finally ended up moving down here, down in the Mooresville, Lake Norman area. And Stacy can probably tell this story a little bit better, but it's really the genesis of OPTI Health was our journey to find help for some of our kids who are suffering from traumatic issues, from the Cleveland clinics to the Amen clinics in Atlanta, and all of the things that they prescribe for brain healing and kind of the trauma work. And most of that was hyperbarics, neurofeedback, good diet. So that really set kind of in motion. And I was playing catch up with Stacy a lot because she's a physical therapist, has been in the medical space for a long time. And so she kind of encouraged me and motivated me along to become national board certified health and wellness coach, and really to get to know and understand the whole hyperbarics world and neurofeedback and kind of the biohacking world, if you would call it that. I like to think of we're into the science of biohacking. If there's good science behind it and there's good research behind it, we're all for checking it out and seeing how it works to help people. And
did you
maybe
guys
you have some additions to that story, Stace?
I'd love to hear more about. Did you come across my friend Deanna Ballard at all in your time at Samaritan's Purse?
We did.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
Good people. Yeah, also good people doing great work in God's country, Boone, NC, one of the greatest towns in the whole country. I spent 4 good years there. Stacy, tell me a little bit more about what Mike was talking about.
I think the whole journey to get to OPTI, we didn't plan, right? But it was a step-by-step process of, this works for our family. Why doesn't everybody else understand this and know this? When somebody said, put your kids in a hyperbaric chamber because it will heal their brain, no one had said that before. So we got so excited and kind of geeked out on the science of it that we wanted to share that. And then we were approached by a veterans group that said, have you seen the data on veterans and neurofeedback and hyperbaric oxygen? We want you all to put together a program. And that was the genesis 2 years ago of creating this program that we've just rolled out. And I really feel like God gives you a story for a reason. He allowed us to go through some really hard things in order to share that there is hope. A lot of people with trauma backgrounds don't believe that there's any hope. One of our veterans was told by the VA just to accept his new normal. And we're here to say we don't have to do that.
And there's other ways to get you feeling like yourself again.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't all come in a bottle.
Right.
Pill bottle, booze bottle, right? That bottle phrase could be used for a lot of things. We've been having a lot of conversations in this space with either other organizations or even just veterans that have found alternative ways to mend what's happened to them. And it's very interesting how sort of the genesis is, right? Because you adopt, 6 kids, right? And through that adoption, there inherently is trauma woven into that in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Right. Some in different and varying degrees, to be able to then move that forward to then serve more people, but then also to lean in the veterans community. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to hear more about the specifics of OPTI VETS, right? I know it's new, right? What the goals are, what it's going to look like. I want to hear about what it's going to look like, but let's thank some of the fine folks who make this show possible. I'll be right back with Mike and Stacy Sweeney. I'm Brian Jodas. You're watching Pick Up the Six. More with these two amazing folks right after this.
Welcome to F3, Fitness, Fellowship, and Faith, where men come together for something more than just a workout. Our core principles define us: free of charge, open to all men, held outdoors, peer-led, and end in a circle of trust. Whether you want to run, lift heavy things, or focus on bodyweight exercises, F3 has over 4,000 workouts available worldwide. Join us, experience the camaraderie, the challenge, and the transformation of F3, where men can get right so that they can lead right.
Hi, Joel Maurer, founder of Dink Ninjas. Dink Ninjas was dreamed up and started right here in Austin, Texas, a dynamic pickleball community. We arm pickleballers with the paddles, apparel, and accessories to dink like a ninja. Dink Ninjas is dedicated to supporting mental health awareness and cancer research. Shop our full lineup at dinkninjas.com.
Are you searching for connection? Do you struggle with loneliness? There is hope. We are F3, Fitness, Fellowship, Faith. Our mission is to plant, grow, and serve small workout groups for men for the invigoration of male community leadership. We have 5 core principles.
Free of charge, open to all men, held outdoors, rain or shine. You're led, and it ends in a circle of trust.
Go to f3nation.com.
Well, if you've been with me from the beginning, or if you're new to this Pick Up the Six thing and you're watching, that F3 thing sounds pretty cool. Let me tell you guys, and guys specifically, lean in. This thing is way more than just a workout group. I mean, you talk about male leadership and what they're able to help you accelerate, and then just the camaraderie and the brotherhood. I had to take my wife to the airport this morning, ran her up there. I was going to be about 15 minutes late to the F3 workout I could get to. And I was like, man, maybe I'll just go home and just sort of get my day started. I was like, no, I need that circle of trust. You heard that last part, that circle of trust, men to be able to stand in that circle together, share what's going on in their lives, ask for prayers, ask for help, or just celebrate stuff. Absolute game changer. Absolute game changer. All right, let me bring Mike and Stacy Sweeney back into the mix here of OPTI Health and OPTI Vets. We were talking a little bit about sort of the genesis of this program, learning about all these different ways to provide holistic care, specifically really the start being back with your kids. And then now you're able to take that out to help other people. And then now adding in, and you've built it, right? You've built it over the last few years to get this program ready to be able to deliver to veterans with the hope that it doesn't have to cost them anything, right? So you don't want barrier to be an entry. Stacy, how important is that? And then talk to me a little bit about just the why, the want to do this, and then putting a nonprofit around it, right? Which then hopefully brings that barrier down for these guys and gals.
Right. I think that as a family who has walked through trauma, we had the means to pay for that care, but we understand how expensive it is. And we don't believe that anyone, any of our veterans, especially who have incurred those scars for us, serving for us, going on deployment after deployment, being away from their families, we don't think they should have to pay for that care. that's how OPTI VETS came around, having a way that other people can join in and donate so that these veterans can get the care that they need, but not have it come out of their pockets.
Mike, I know we're new to this, right? It's 9 weeks old. You've got some initial veterans that are part of the program, right? That are starting to get care, more to be onboarded soon. What are these? I'll use guys, but guys and gals, I would predominantly think you probably have a lot of guys come in, but I'm sure there'll be a mix of both. What are they coming in with, right? PTSD, TBIs, like what are they coming in with?
Yeah, both, for sure. And once you start peeling, those are just kind of labels in essence.
Yeah.
Once you start peeling back the onion, you start. We start all of our folks with some amazing supplements, so they just start feeling great. And once we get rolling into the program, which we have a 9 week, an 8 or 7 week, a 4 week, and then we have 2 that are just in the genesis of their first couple weeks. Once they start feeling better, we start finding out, what is it that's really how is this really affecting your life? And I know our common friend Brad just this weekend was talking about hypervigilance. When you're on the front lines, and it doesn't have to be just for veterans. It can be, our first responders and paramedics and policemen. There's always this hypervigilance that you can't just leave at work. And especially when these guys and gals come back from serving, everywhere they go, they're looking for some sort of danger, and they just can't turn it off. And it really creates a toll on them and their family when they have to have a schedule. Just winging it just doesn't work. And our doctor, Dr. Delana Bishop, she says, trauma creates physical change in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not something that someone can just counsel their way through or just toughen up. It makes physical changes in your brain and the brain structure that can only be fixed through, the kinds of things like hyperbarics and red light, decreasing inflammation, incredible supplementation so that your body, think about this, God made our body so that it would heal itself, but we've got to give our body the right fuel to be able to do that. And what we just feel like we've done is which we're really kind of surprised that more clinics like Opti Health are not out there. We're giving you the oxygen, we're giving you the NAD for your mitochondria, we're giving you the red light to decrease your inflammation. I mean, all of these things, and then we tie in health coaching to what we're doing, and so that every aspect of your life can be changing instead of let's try this one thing and see if that works. Okay. Yeah. For 9 months, that wasn't really working. So let's try something else. I mean, that's 9 lost months of your life that something could be really working. And so, we're throwing the whole kitchen sink at our veterans to get them better.
And Brian, you asked what are some of the guys struggling with? And we do have 2 ladies. We have 1 enrolled and 1 about to enroll. But burn pit exposure is something that we're learning more and more about, that there's been incredible lung damage from breathing things from these burn pits overseas. And so we have a modification. Some veterans can't get in the hyperbaric chamber. And so they use our exercise with oxygen training system. But we're learning, a lot of them have chronic pain when they come, and then instantly, about 6 weeks in, they say, wow, I don't have migraines anymore, or I'm not hurting anymore. So that's pretty fantastic.
Yeah. This is not apples to apples at all, but I was having a really bad plantar issue in one foot, and I went and sought care for it. And instead of, I think it'll make sense. Instead of just, hey, ice the foot, warm it up with the ball in the morning, ice it later. I went and saw someone, and we did red light therapy on that foot. We did some audio wave, sound wave therapy. And we also addressed all the way up through my IT band, up into my hip, up into my glute, and into lower back. Right. So so it's not the same thing. But I'm saying, right, it's that more of a, we got to look at more than just your foot's not just the problem, right? There's a lot of other things that are happening to be able to do all that though, Stacy. I mean, that comes with, first of all, a lot of attention and care, then I also have to think, boy, that's a lot of resources needed to give these guys and gals the care they need.
It absolutely is. Like I said before, the care is not cheap. It's significant. And that's where we're looking for some partners to come along that really want to make a donation and be a part of the blessing. I was a little late jumping on this call because I was meeting with one of the veterans, and it is such a blessing to hear their stories and to see them change and see how it's changing families and even communities. And, other people could be a part of that.
Mike, with the time that we have left, because folks are going to be listening, say, okay, look, I'm tuned up on this. First of all, maybe if folks are in proximate to us and they want to get to you guys, let's give them some information on that. But then just the great folks that we have that listen to this show, if they want to help, right? So now you've got an official 501c3 nonprofit built around OPTI VETS. So tell us how they can find you guys, how they can help. Give us a little bit of a data dump.
Sure, appreciate that. Right now, the best way to find us is either, Google is perfect. OPTI Health, Lake Norman, you can find us. Go to our website, optihealthlkn.com. One of our prominent pages is our veterans page, and it has a link there where you can donate. And what you're donating to in OPTI VETS is direct care. We don't have 50 people on staff who are pushing papers that you're paying their salaries. It is going to direct care for our folks, and we're going to continue to put stories in there because that's what people want to see. They want to see results, and that's what we are laser focused on, is getting to the root cause of PTSD, so that our heroes who have come home, who have served their country and served all of us, don't have to keep serving and keep paying the price. So come visit us anytime. We're just across from the Lowe's YMCA in Mooresville. Give us a call. We'd love to give you a tour, show you all the state-of-the-art equipment that we're using. And we're helping more people than just veterans. I know we're talking about that today, and 4th of July is coming. And it's really important to remember that even though we may not be in a war right now, we still have a whole lot of men and women who are still mentally at war, and we need to help them.
And we can't wish it away, and we can't sit around waiting for other entities, even sometimes the biggest ones. We don't have to say big names, two-letter agencies. We can't wait around for that. Too many guys, gals get left by the wayside. Too many get left on the streets homeless. Too many get left in harm's way with a bottle or even worse in their hands. And the unthinkable happens. And we have too many that get faced that do the one thing we can't reverse. Well, regardless of what you've been through, what Mike and Stacy are talking about doing, they can help you to turn back, right? Turn back that trauma, turn back those aches and pains, get your life back that you deserve, because you're worth it. You fought for it. And these fine folks are going to fight for you. You too. This has been utterly amazing. Hang on the phone, hang on the line. Cause I want to talk to you. I want to come see you guys. I want to come see this operation. I want to help you out a little bit. So hang with me and we'll talk a little bit more after I sign off. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Mike
Brian.
and Stacy Sweeney. Utterly incredible. Amazing. Brad, thank you so much for introducing me to these great folks. OPTI VETS. Go check them out. You got the website there, and support an amazing, great cause, because they are doing what we talk about doing here, right? They're doing exactly what we talk about, right? You leave the 99, you go save the one, you go help that one in need. And that's what these folks are doing. So go support them. I'm Brian Jodis. That's been episode 184 of Pick Up the Six. Thanks for being with me, and I will see you next time.